Great.
Okay, so it's very glad, meeting you here and having this webinar conducted because apart from the students, I myself is going to get so much interaction and knowledge from you. So, first of all,
A pleasure,
everyone who
Sapna.
has been on this webinar, the students who don't know about the Manpreet, so let me give you a quick introduction about who Manpreet is. So basically, Manpreet Singh itself is an ACCA member. He is an ACCA affiliated, qualified, and a working professional from the past 7 years into the Big Four, such as ENY. And not only that, he also has quite an extensive teaching and mentoring experience into the professional education. His professional journey spans leading to the audit for clients and also strengthening the internal controls, performing risk assessment, and also multi-managing members, audit terms, and across diverse industries. Not only that, he specialized in the audit and assurance, advanced audit and assurance, performance management, advanced performance management, strategic business leadership. His teaching approach is highly exam focused, structured, and practical, helping students bridge the gap between the theory and the real life world application. So this is a quick introduction of who Manpreet is. So Manpreet, anything else you want to add on?
As you said, the ACCA affiliate, I'm already the ACCA member and turning the FCCA soon. Thank you for
Yeah.
the superb introduction. You covered the entire thing. I'm glad. Thank you to you and the team that you gave this opportunity to interact with the students. And I assure that the students also are having some confusions. I reach out daily by the students with some questions, and I just hope that we are able to answer them all in this webinar. And after this webinar, the students have some clarity about, as they know, this is all about the career aspects, and they usually wonder what after ACCA. That's a big question to all the students, if I must say, and I hope that I can help them attain some clarity after the session. And yeah, let's go ahead.
Correct. Yeah. So we have few questions that will help us to get the clarity over the ACCA, and you are the right fit for the to answer that particular questions. To begin with, how has the meaning of a global finance career changed in the recent year of for ACCA professionals? Can you just help in understanding the same?
Sure, that's a powerful question. Let me take you back to 10, 15 years. If someone said, I want a global finance career, it usually meant moving abroad. Nothing apart from that. You are in India, you want to fly to UK, US, Australia, and that's all. And I think most of the students also confuse about when we say the global career, right?
Yeah, that's really so
Anyone,
true.
students,
So
can you
true.
relate with the hand raise or something? Does that global means okay moving abroad?
I guess.
Yes, yes, I do. I do know that students often confuse between global career. Okay. A different country, a different passport stamp, a different lifestyle, that's all, right? But today, global is no longer where you sit, right? It's about the scale of the opportunities and the responsibilities you handle. Today, I should say, an ACC professional sitting in India can prepare IFRS statements which are reviewed in London, right? Supports the audit for European subsidiaries, just giving you one example, right? Analyze the performance of Middle East operations, etc., right? Advise management across the time zones. So let me ask you, is that not global? Is that
Yeah.
not global? But here's the deeper shift. Earlier, the finance roles were compliance focused, right? Close the books, prepare the statements, ensure accuracy. Regulatories wanted accountability. You were asked what happened? How much profit did we grow? Right? This was a scenario earlier. But now, today, what are the accountants, the auditors, the managers, directors in the company are questioned from what happened to why it has happened. Everyone in the world knows what actually happened, but you are there to answer why it has happened. That shift from reporting to interpreting actually is the real transformation. So ACCA is not only teaching us accounting for one country or one zone, it's training you to think beyond the borders. Global is no longer a location, it's a mindset. I hope that answers the
Yeah,
question.
that's true. That's something very deep. And I gave a second thought about what global can be in another parallel scenario.
Yes. Even I'll share a funny story. A few
Yeah.
students walked to me and asked me, sir, if ACC offers you opportunities 180 countries, what are you sitting here and doing in India? So that is what is you make the right mindset at the first
Correct.
time. And since you have started with this question, I think it's really good to go with the webinar with this space so that the students know what actually the global word when we use in accounting and ACCA terms that actually means.
True. That's so true. Yeah. So when we talk about futuristic jobs after ACCA, which roles do you see keep gaining the most traction globally?
Okay, let's talk about the future honestly, right? The world does not need more people who record transactions.
That's so true.
Right? Technology has already driven so fast. The world needs the professionals who can navigate uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
Think about how business has changed in the last 5 years. Students, can you think of that? Pandemic, supply chain disruptions, what else?
That's so true.
Geopolitical risk,
Hmm.
the wars, US, China, and what's not happening in the world, right? ESG regulations. Do you think 10 years down the line, people used to focus on ESG as much as they're doing it today?
True.
Then the digital transformations, obviously, data analytics, AI, we're going to talk about it as we move ahead. But don't you think this environment has adapted and literally changed as it was like 10 years back?
Yeah.
In such an environment, why the rules become crucial, right? Why the ACCA qualification, how it helps you. So FNPA professionals, because forecasting drives the survival, right? Risk managers. Prevention is cheaper than failure. I'm right, wrong.
Yes. So true.
ESG specialists. Reputation affects the valuation of the company. If you're not ESG compliant, people will not eventually trust you and you will tend to lose your valuation as well.
True.
Am I correct? Internal audit rules, governance is the key. It protects the credibility, right?
True.
Scams, scandals will not help you to grow more in the global environment. Once you lose your
True.
reputation and that's gone, right?
Yeah.
Digital finance leaders, automation is something that is we should look upon, right?
True.
Notice something very carefully. None of these roles are about bookkeeping.
Mm-hmm.
They're not about ledger posting. They're about
Yeah.
they're about decision making, analyzing, critical thinking. So the ACCA syllabus is not at all outdated. Glad Shivani also says analysis. Great. Shivangi, sorry. So notice something. These are all about the decision making, analysis, and critical thinking. Syllabus is not outdated. It's quietly preparing you for your next level roles, for the emerging spaces. Future of ACCA is not in ledgers. It's in the leaders.
True.
It's in the leaders. We are preparing the leaders and not the guys who will just post the journal entries and move ahead. So that is what I believe the ACC offers the scope.
Hmm. True. Yeah, so that's the misconceptions we all have that ACCA is just a certification, but it is more than a
Yes,
certification. A deep
truly,
understanding.
truly.
Yeah. So that is something which, opens up the eye.
True.
So, Manpreet, I just want to know how does ACC prepare students for digital roles in areas like global audit, financial reporting, and performance management? Because you just told that it is more than something what we see.
Can we like have the answers at the later stage? Because I get a little distracted, I start reading what student says.
Sure, sure, sure.
Can we turn off for a while we are talking? Students, please hear, and whenever you are asked, then only think about that and revert. Because I go there and I tend to read, oh, what's happening? Okay, so
We
your
will be
question
taking
was
the
about the
questions and
digital world.
answers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's address something many students are afraid about.
yeah,
What is that? AI,
that's true.
right? Data analytics, digital transformations. And many students come up and ask this question, so will I become irrelevant? Is that something AI will replace the accountants in the world?
That's the fear.
Never ever, right? Mark my words, automation removes repetition. Automation removes repetition. It does not remove the responsibility. In digital audits, softwares select the unusual transactions, but is selecting the transactions only they are limited to?
True.
Who will analyze the fraud risk? Let's take one more example. In financial reporting, systems generate the dashboards, but who explains the performance to the board? It's where the need of certified chartered accountants arises. It's the need where the ACCA student who are maybe attending the webinar, you will be someday in the boardroom and explaining all this to the board and advising the management and taking the companies ahead, right? So
Yes.
similarly, ACCA is giving you exam scenario based questions. They are not relying purely on the theoretical part or the calculations part. You might notice in the professional examinations, the calculations part are very limited. They just need you, okay, just calculate a few things to check your technical knowledge as well. And whatever you have computed, advise on that. Agree or not?
Yeah.
ACCA, they do not reward memorization at all. When you read the examiner tips as well, they say, okay, this was a scripted answer. We dishonor that. We'll not credit you with any mark, right? They force you to evaluate the incomplete information. They push you to recommend actions. That is what is ACCA is already working upon. And yeah, with the AI, digital, the life is getting easy, but at the same time, the minds need to develop.
Yeah.
Students who complained once why there is so much writing in SBL, right? Later, they only realize that communication is what the senior roles demand. Technology may process the numbers, but professionals are there to interpret them. That's the difference.
True.
Yeah.
Because I many times, when I do the counseling of the students, I say them as well as a lengthy paper. And the first questions that I get, ma'am, why it's a lengthy paper when everything
True,
else is not just so much
true,
in towards it.
true.
I try to explain them, but me understanding this thing from you is giving me more clarity.
Thank you.
So this is something I guess many of our students had a doubt would
Mhm.
have been cleared over here. So this is something which will help students. And
My
with
pleasure.
automation and AI reshaping finance functions, which accounting skills or we say ACCA skills are becoming more critical than ever.
Okay, let me say something bold. AI will not replace the accountants, right? The most valuable ACCA skills today are professional skepticism, the
Okay.
ethical judgment, the strategic analysis, the communication clarity, the risk awareness. Technical skills are the entry tickets. The judgment is the leadership currency.
Yeah.
Think about when pressure comes, and it will definitely pressure to adjust members, right?
Yeah.
Pressure to overlook the risk, pressure to remain silent. No software will make that decision. You need to do that. And that moment will define your career far more than exams ever did. ACC prepares you for that, not just technically but ethically also.
Yes. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is something which also helps that to know how AI we should not afraid of. Instead of that, we it will help us in gaining more senses and doing it in a proper manner,
Truly,
more organized way, in a
truly,
simpler manner we can say.
truly.
So, can you just also help me in understanding how the multinational organization view ACCA professional when hiring for global and cross-border roles?
Okay. So for a MNC, right, the biggest risk is about the hiring, right? They want someone who understands the global standards, someone who can work across jurisdictions, someone who respects the governance frameworks, right? ACCA signals that. Because whether you qualify in India, UK, Middle East, or Africa, the standards are consistent, right? That consistency will build the trust. But here's something important: qualification will open the door, right? Your professionalism will keep it open. The qualification will only allow you a entry path, but your professionalism, your personal sense of carrying your knowledge, right? That is what it will help you in the long run. So ACCA carries that global trust, and MNCs, yes, they trust you as a ACCA because of the ethical modules. The structure ACCA is following you in their exams.
Yes, understood. So that is something which also helps me in understanding what are the criteria that they follow while hiring, because we think that in hiring, getting hired in India will be easy, getting
Hmm.
hired outside will be difficult. So this is a
Mhm.
dilemma I guess most of the students face while getting into a ACCA career.
Yeah.
So, can you just also explain how papers such as strategic business leadership and
Okay.
advanced audit and assurance align with future facing business and risk challenges?
Sure. Many students fear them. It's the biggest fear, I must say, in the ACCA journey. But do you know one thing? That's the easiest subjects I can say. Once
Oh,
students know actually what they're doing, when they stop to think like a student and they start actually placing them in a role of a director, a CFO, a CEO, they tend to gain that confidence. They tend to think in a better way. That is what I must say. That is common in both of the papers. But SBL forces you to think about the leadership, right? The risk appetite, the ethics, the communication. The AAA, Advanced Audit and Assurance, will make you think about the management biasness, the fraud risk. Is the evidence sufficient? Are the controls reliable? Right? They're not the junior skills. They are the senior's responsibility in an organization. Students resist AAA initially. Do you know that? If you ask, okay, what exams do you want to pick up from those optional ones? They truly resist AAA. Is that? But those who embrace the thinking process, they grow significantly. These exams are not designed to trick you, they are designed to stretch you. And stretching is that which builds the capacity. So don't be afraid. Think beyond a level of a student. While you are pursuing the professional level examinations, make yourself sit in that roles, maybe virtually right now, maybe in your imagination right now, but as big as you'll think, it will help you to grow as much as you can. At the right time, before even entering that boardroom, as a student, you're thinking about that board decisions, that CFO decisions, the CEO decisions. Think about that.
yeah, that's so true.
Yep.
So, like ethics and governance are central to globe roles today. How does ACCA ethical framework enhance employability in the international markets? So, can you just help me in dropping that?
Sure. Technical errors can be corrected, right? There's a mistake in your report that can be made negligible, that can be avoided. That's okay. Humans make mistake. But reputation is everything. Do you get that? One ethical lapse can damage the investor's trust, the company's valuation, the career, right? Your career, ACC embeds ethics across the qualification, not as a theory, but as an identity. Why? Why? To apply the safeguards, to document the judgment, to act responsibly, right? If nobody is watching you, what would you still do in that case? Would you still act professionally? That only questions define you and your global credibility. I hope that makes sense. That is where the importance of ethics lies.
Understood. Yeah. Something which is not yet, known by me also, to most of the students also, which they came to know today. And you are the medium who is helping us understand what is the future facing business and risk challenges we can face, that we need to be prepared now.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you,
So,
Swapna.
for students pursuing ACCA alongside graduation or work experience, how does this pathway supports faster entry into the global demand roles?
Okay. There is a question coming from the graduation students right now who say we are not working, right? We are just studying. I always advise the students take your skills level, right? But wait for the professionals level until you enter a job market, right? Because what will happen is when you sit in an office, when you see the actual things, how they work upon, right? When you see how to take that pressure on your head, right? That's something will make you work closely with your case-based scenarios. If you directly set for your professional level exams while in college, you are just reading it like a theory, right? You get messy, those incomplete solutions, right? But I see students who wait, they enter into a job market and then pursue for a professional level examinations. They tend to analyze more critically, they think strategically, and their answers automatically reflect that work which they're handling in the real life. That's something I believe. Do you agree?
I agree. Sure. So, yeah, that is also, something which is going to help us, and framework to enhance the employability and for the students who are in graduation. So, according to, like, personally, I want to know, according to you, what is the right age to start ACCA? When is the right time one should start the preparation?
People have reached out to me, let me be honest, after the 10th. They said, okay, sir, I want to do my ACCA, I want to start my ACCA, right? I said, then please hold on, right? Please work on your basic first, right? Till the time your accounting and other basics might not be clear, how are you adding up ACCA on your shoulder as well? Right? That was a clear advice from my side. That was my opinion. The ACC offers you flexibility to even start after 10th, but that's not under, I would suggest, a good thought in my opinion, right? You work on your basics. Next, after 12th, along with graduation, yes, that's somewhere I feel students get distracted very much, right? So as early as they think to start ACCA, they get focused at one place, right? I met students who once started CA, jumped to CMA, okay, could not qualify. Let's also explore CFA. And then after 4 to 5 years, they are coming for the ACCA. Why?
Yeah, that's
One right decision, one right mentoring, one right counseling even can make students in a better shape for the next of their career. That's what something I feel. Yes, after 12th, it's the right time to start. You start with your knowledge level, you start with your skills level, whatever, and when till the time you enter your professional level, you have already grown, right? Your mindset has already grown. You already know what ACCA is. You need not to struggle in your career ahead in your job opportunities and the job market. You get obviously the better pays. Why should we decline that fact? You get the
that's
better
true.
pays, right?
That's
You
true.
get better roles. You get a respect at your workplace. Trust me, you get respect. You are respected
Yeah.
as a ACC affiliate or a ACC student who has part qualified and cleared so many exams. That something gives you confidence. That something makes you push the limits. You think, oh, I can do something extraordinary.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So that is something, where I did not make them understand that what is the right age to start, because ACCA says that, yeah, you can start the preparation from 9
Yeah,
standard, after 10 standard. There are various ways that people in India make their own assumption that now is the right time or we can do it
yep,
later. But I think they have given the timeline for a limit that you should start the preparation now for a reason.
true,
So
true.
this is something which will help the students also. So
Mhm.
beyond accounting, what career transition can ACCA professional make into consulting, advisory, or strategic roles?
Yep. Because it's not only the accounting what students feel, right? The ACCA careers, trust me, they are like endless opportunities. It's not limited to accounting, auditing. What I feel students can take the management consulting roles, right? Advisory roles, corporate strategic roles, right? FPA leadership roles, entrepreneurship. Someone just questioned me at the start of the webinar. Can I do my export and export business along with SEC? What do you think, Sapna? What do you think? Yes, yes, you can
Yeah,
actually.
we can do
Because,
anything.
yep, ACCA is not restricting you to do any sort of business. It is developing you to take up that role, right? It's developing your mindset. It's developing you how you take the decisions and what decisions you take when there are problems around you. So it's not stopping you from doing anything. After the ACCA, eventually I am here to coach and mentor the students. And I sometimes feel if I would not have done the ACCA myself, would I be able to even ever give this honest advice? That's something. That's also a sort of consulting.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So consulting can be in various forms. That
Yes.
depends. You cannot just, stay firm on a single ways of earning money or choosing a right roadmap.
True.
You can have a various field. You can jump from a different field to a different field. But if we
Yeah.
don't make that first step, it won't be, easy for us to recognize which pathway is meant for us.
Yeah.
So this is something
So
that
I
students
should
will
add on
understand.
where your passion lies. What
Yes.
you think that actually fits your personality is something where you should land upon.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Finally, for ACCA aspirants,
Yep.
targeting global, digital, and future ready careers, what key mindset or skills should they consciously build during their ACCA journey?
Okay. This might be the most important question of the day
Yes.
because the skills matter. The skills are what they matter, right? The mindset determines the trajectory, right? Let me ask you something honestly. When you set to study, are you thinking, how do I pass this exam? How
Uh,
do I write this question? Most of the students do think in this way. Or are you thinking, if I was there in this particular situation, what decision I would have taken?
Yeah.
That is the shift in the mindset ACCA requires and is constantly pushing the students to do. In every examiner comment we see these sort of comments framing, it was not thought as a viewpoint from a director or a CFO coming. It was just like a student framing his bookish answers and writing the definitions instead of providing the solutions, right? Because in the real world, there will be no section A, B, C, and so on, right? There will be no structured requirement. There is no examiner telling you what to discuss, right? So you are given ambiguity and expected to respond with clarity, right? So what mindset you should build?
Yeah.
Strategic thinking.
Yeah.
Don't memorize the models. Understand why they exist, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Qualification, of course. You have those 20 professional marks. You may know everything, but if you cannot explain it clearly, then will it still remain like valuable?
True.
Digital confidence.
True.
Technology is all evolving. Be curious about that. Do not fear AI, the transformations, the data analytics. No. Ethical courage, right? This is huge.
Yeah.
You will face a pressure to adjust, to overlook, to remain silent, but you offer that. Your decision in that moment will define your personality, right? One defaming
True.
news in the market and your career is destroyed, right? Continuous learning. I have done ACCA 5 years, 7 years back. And what if I do not stay committed to what's going in the market, right? What's new? That's something ACCA also tends you to focus upon. Do you know, as a member, we need to comply with CPD units every year?
No.
Yes, we need to do that.
Okay.
Ah,
Something which is new to me.
that's something practical we need to fill in. How many CPD hours, that's continuous professional development, we made this year? We need to declare that. And
Oh,
ACCA can also suspect and check your points, whether you comply or not. And if that is the case, you're not ethical, your membership is even at risk.
okay.
I sometimes give example to my students in the class as well. Um it might be on a humorous side, but imagine you went to a doctor, right? You said, okay, I'm having this problem or so on. I just gave example of a cataract surgery, right? A cataract surgery, eye surgery, right? Uh, you went to a doctor. He was old enough. He said you, I'll have to cut it from here, make the operation, stitch it back. It will take you month, 2 months to get back to the normal life. You said, hey, are you not aware? We are having that one single laser and it heals you within 15, 20 minutes. There's no cutting, there's no stitching back and everything, right? The technology has moved upon. I usually give this example. The doctor said, oh, hey, I did my MBBS back in 1990s. I'll say, better you shut down your shop and just sit at home and relax right now. It's not your time to work in the industry. Do you get an example of CPT?
Yeah, understood.
That's something. So your mindset will answer before actually your qualification does. No one will ask you how many times did you reappear for an exam, how many marks you scored.
Correct, correct.
But your mindset, your personality will say a lot before you even show your degree. That's what I can say about this.
True, true. Yeah, so that is something which is deep, and even I did not had this kind of understanding. So this is something where I came to know what are things that is new. that came into the picture. I guess the students who have joined us today, they also had gotten some more clarity. And if they still have any doubts, so we can now take up the questions to help them in understanding more in a deeper way.
Sure, sure.
So
Let's open the
students, if you
question.
have any questions, you can drop it down. So we will start with the Shivangi's questions. If once I will be ACCA, then I will do the analysis and interpretations of financial accounting of MNCs.
Shivangi, which role you go in, right? Whether you go in your advisory, right? Accounting, auditing, which roles you take up, right? As the auditor, yes, you check the financials, right? You do not interpret them. As the performance analyst, you do you do the budgeting. You need to interpret what do you do. So what is not something that specific you will need to do, but what your role requires you to do. Okay, I hope that answers the question.
Also, Rahul wants to know that ACCA alone is the enough. If not, what are the other best certification to do?
Let me just see. Where is Rahul? He says, okay, I can't see that question. No problem. So he says ACCA alone is enough or not, and what is something?
The other best certification that one can do.
ACCA is the boss. Short and sweet. Nothing above that. Yes, if you're ACCA, bang on. You're on mute, Sapna.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So Rahul also wants to know, will ACCA be saturated in 10 to 15 years due to the high enrollment rate?
Not at all. Not happening. I read some days back, Helen, right? Helen Brandt. So she commented, she's the global leader of ACCA, first of all, right? She
Okay.
commented in her interview with Hindustan Times, right? She said there are more opportunities in India than the number of ACCAs we have. So do you think it's collapsing really soon in next 10 years? Not at all, my friend.
Yeah.
It's
And
it's on a booming side right now.
correct. And I think in the commerce industry, if we see CA in India as one of the supreme course, it's
Yep.
also a CA of UK.
Yep.
So you cannot just compare it with any other courses because this is more than a course.
Yes, definitely.
Harleen wants to know, should we go for financial modeling as skill development with ACCA?
Financial modeling is something which is really again hot in the market, right? Many students are approaching the financial modeling course without knowing what they actually want to land upon, right? First of all, know where your interest lies, what do you want to do in the future. If you are uncertain, if you want to really go with the flow that, okay, my friends are doing, go ahead, right? But first understand the reason why. What is you gonna get after that course? Then automatically your question, you'll have some answers after you answer yourself why, right? What prospects are opening after this course for me, whether be financial modeling, any sort of the course in the industry. I hope that answers. Don't go with the flow.
True, true. And also, Hema wants to know, I'm going to pursue PGDM plus ACCA after my BCom in MCC Boyd Tandon Schools of Business. Will it be useful?
Sorry, PGT or
PGDM,
PhD?
I guess it's post
I
graduation.
can't read the questions. Is that something? Because I think some questions are missing in between.
Okay. So she basically wants to know that PGDM plus ACCA after BCom will be
PGT.
useful. Yes, PGDM.
Okay, that's something in the teaching and so on, right? I
It's,
believe.
it's actually basically post graduation diploma
Okay,
and
and
might be it will be in management.
Okay,
Like
okay.
a MBA.
Once you're done with the ACCA, you're already doing the SBL papers and reporting papers. I think that's still sufficient to take you to the roles you want to, and no other certification specifically in the management that is required, I believe.
Yeah. And also, Dipti wants to know how do students gain the required practical experience during ACCA?
Yeah. During your ACCA, see your internships, your approved employers, right? I should say do not rush behind gaining that experience because the students already have the graduation pressure on their shoulders, right? They tend to struggle with the university examinations and the ACCA examinations clashes and so on. Don't wait for the right time. If you get a right opportunity, you tend to land up with a good employer who is giving you the experience certificate, or the ACCA approved employers who directly contribute to your PER, then I think just wait for that right moment. Once you complete your study, don't rush behind multiple things right at the one go. That something I would suggest. And once you are there with the right employer, automatically your time of experience with that employer will add to your PER and eventually to your membership.
Yeah, that's true. Shivangi also wants to know how much time or years you take to complete ACCA.
How much time I took to complete ACCA?
In general, it takes.
In general, if you start after the graduation, 1.5 to 2 years, along with graduation, 3 years.
Okay,
Yep.
understood.
That's like a basic time or
Correct,
anything.
correct.
Yep.
And also, Shakti wants to know what are the roles of ACCA?
We just discussed. We just
Correct.
discussed in detail. Management roles, strategic business roles, right? Accounting, advisory, consulting, ESG,
Correct.
environmental social governance, right? Forensic audits, whatnot. Endless.
Yeah.
Endless. Yep.
Shivangi wants to know, sir, how can companies know about me once I cleared ACCA?
LinkedIn, your best friend these days. Every student is continuously posting. You look for the referrals, you look for the opportunities, and get through the right way. And no company, I think, will refuse you if you have the good talent.
That's true.
Also,
That's so true.
looking for the professionals they need to have in the industry and work closely with them. Yes,
That's true.
you are
That's
welcome.
yeah. And also, like Dipti wants to know, is it difficult to manage BCom exam and ACCA papers together?
Yes, and no. And no, yes, when you do not plan, right? You
Okay.
already know when your BCom exams are falling in December or January, and you already have registered for two ACC exams along. Is it a good planning? I tell all the graduate students who are pursuing the graduation, please plan well ahead. How will your next 6 months look in advance? Right? You should have a structure of what exams you will do in your next 6 months. At least then you will be able to manage. And when the students plan well, they execute it well. If there is improper planning and when they register for the exams, do not study and be casual with the routine and everything, are not disciplined, then the struggle is real. Then no one can stop you from getting a load over your head and anxiety and stress and everything. But if you plan well, then the execution is obviously really easy. So it's all on you how you take your ACC and we come together.
True. True.
Yep.
Harleen also wants to know how to complete PER.
I already told you, be with the employer, right? Who will give you a certificate or that you have qualified. There's some 10 to 13 requirements which is in the PR guidelines. If that employer says that, okay, you have worked on all of them, that certainly can give you a PR experience, right? You can add up your experience in your PR, or the best way is go to a approved employer, by the ACCAs, they never, it's too easy to get the PR from there, right? But you just see the ACCA PR checklists is all available on the ACCA website. That will help you to know which employer and what role you are working with. So it will add to your PER or not.
True, true. Jasbir wants to know is taking exemption after finishing my BCom.
Is taking exemptions good after finishing my BCom? See, if you know the basics, some students I know who are even pursuing the graduation, right, do not know the basics of financial accounting, management accounting, corporate accounting much. They just go to college, they pick their 10 years, and then they somehow pass their exams. I even heard that, okay, people are just writing the stories and songs in their exams and just filling up the sheets and passing in some universities. Right. If that way you want to go your graduation and then you say, I want to take exemptions and do ACCA, that's certainly not for you, my friend. You'll have to build your base first. Right. But you're excellent in a financial accounting, in a management accounting, in a corporate accounting, in auditing. And if you have cleared on your basics, definitely go for the exemptions. Why not? That's something the ACC is offering you. And ACC believes that if you have already completed a 3-year graduation or MBA or certain other qualifications, they allow you exemptions. That is what is the key is. So do not hesitate if you are confident in yourself.
Correct, correct. So basically, taking the number of exemptions more, I think is going to impact more if you don't have the relevant degree. Because people run towards exemptions more instead of understanding how they are getting the exemptions.
True. They think, okay, I can get 3, 4, 5, n number of exemptions. But are you sure that whatever you are taking it as an exemption, you already know that?
True.
Because if you do not know that, take exemption and then move to the professional level exams, I'm not sure where you will land upon. Then the people tend to struggle actually,
True, true,
right?
true.
Then the people
Yes.
tend to struggle.
So, what skills should ACCA students develop to stay relevant in the future?
We already discussed the
Yeah,
skills.
so I think some of the points we have already discussed that we are getting the questions again and again on the same thing.
Yep. Let's not take those questions
Yes.
because I think if someone has joined the
Uh,
webinar, right?
Kusuma is asking, I completed my diploma after finishing my 10th standard. Am I eligible to do ACCA course?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. We just discussed that.
And Shivangi is saying, so it means that while studying ACCA, we should assume ourselves as a CEO or CFO of a company or assume ourselves in a situation, not in a student doing crime.
Think yourself like a CFO. Think yourself like a CEO, right? When you'll not start as a CFO, you'll have to start as an associate only. But how you tackle the problems in an industry, in a company, how you help them to get out of those complex scenarios, your promotion gradually goes upper than anyone who cannot give a solution. So you'll start from the bottom level, but the speed is something. What is your mindset and what are your skills will take you through.
True, true. And Mahi wants to know, should I apply for conditional exemption and should we apply for multiple exams at one attempt? And it is too late to start in third year, as I heard we need 9 out of 13 at least to get opportunities.
I should answer this in the part she has
Correct.
written. Should I apply for the conditional exemptions? I already answered. If you are clear with the basics, if you know, if you are confident, go ahead, right? No one is stopping you. Okay. And should we apply for multiple exams at one attempt? Yes. Again, depends on person to person. Depends on student to student. I cannot answer specifically at this stage until I know how are you progressing in an examination, what has been your educational background and everything, right? We need to go deep dive and then see even how a daily routine of a student look like, If you're not able to take out 5 to 6 hours for studying a day self-study, how can you think of multiple exams at a time? So that's something from student to student, person to person, that cannot be specifically answered in the group. You should take multiple exams or not. Is it too late to start in the third year? No, not at all. As I've heard, we need 9 out of 13 at least to get the opportunities. No, not
True.
at all. No one will want your certificate 9 out of 13 or so on. It's nothing like that. It's the skill set, the mind you bring on the table, not just the qualification or the degree. As I'm going to enter 12th, so can I do ACCA? Yes, I should say, please wait, complete your 12th standard and then go for ACCA. Boards, if you'll ignore the boards and everything, my friend, that's not something small thing, right? Can you please break the levels of ACC and give us knowledge about that? Yeah, there is the knowledge level, right? There's the skills level, and then there's a professional level. Knowledge level is mainly about the business technology, the corporate law, the financial accounting, the management accounting, and so on, right? There you tend to get the basics, right? It's not about the mindset, the strategies, and so on. We are just talking about the complex situation. That's just about the basic. Then you get on the skill level, the auditing, financial reporting, and PM, FM, right? And so on. So there, what is happening? You are call or text. Why should Sapna?
So I texted them because for the
Okay, okay.
further
It's
counseling, I'll be
okay.
taking it ahead.
Okay, it's Zell's number. Okay, I thought some student is right. So sorry. Okay, I was at the skills level. Then you grow from the knowledge level, and you get some questions around which you need to apply your analytical thinking. Right? You know, some part of the exam is based on the MCQs. That's where you get the definitions, the calculations, and so on. And the 30, 40, or 50% part of the exam maximum is about the analysis and how you approach to the situation. When you go to the professional level, SBR and SBL are the two exams which are compulsory. You get AAA, ATAX, AFM, and APM, from where you need to just prepare for the two examinations. And that's something, do you know there are no separate questions or something? You get a complete case study, and then you need to answer and give your viewpoint around that case study. Yes, you have exhibits, you have certain requirements, but it's not like that, okay, 1 mark answer, 2 mark answer, no, never. Right? So that is about the levels of ACCA. If I skip knowledge level and start with skill level, is clearing exams feel tough? That is what is something I already said. That will depend on person to person, how much basic knowledge, how much well have you started on your graduation. That is not something we can generically and apply to everyone.
Yes, so true. So I guess you have given us so much insight, Manpreet, today, which helped not only to the students but me personally,
My
myself,
pleasure.
to understand, and I can pass on that knowledge in the day to day when I'm speaking with someone regarding ACCA. So that has also given me a kind of confidence about how to speak and give the clarity, because not a ACCA myself, I don't want someone to get a wrong information. So you have helped me to the core. So thank
My
you
pleasure,
so
Sapna.
much for joining us today and giving us so much insight about the course.
Thank you everyone who joined the webinar. I hope you were able to get something. By the raise of hands or something, can you say, okay, it was beneficial? I at least expect that. Something, okay, I was able to deliver you, or you had some questions in your mind and that got resolved. Because investing 1 or 1.5 hour here is something you should take out of that.
Correct, correct.
Right?
That's so true.
Was it valuable, students? Thank you. Thank you, Shivangi. My pleasure. Thank you to Zell also offering such opportunities and making these webinars actually happen.
Correct.
Because I see no other big institutes actually coming up in the students and trust and offering them the free webinars,
Correct.
right? and so that a student has a much clarity before even they start their exam. So thank you to Zell. Keep going on, keep banging on with such webinars. It's really great to connect with the students, and of course, what can I say? As much as it's you can take from us in these webinars, right? We are here to open our stories, our mindsets, everything we know, we have experience of, and share with you guys. So as much use you can take of these webinars, do enroll also in the other webinars. I think that would help you a lot.
True.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sapna. Let's conclude.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day. God bless you all.
So all the students, you have my number in the chat. If you want to get a counseling regarding ACCA, if you're planning to do ACCA, we currently here in Zell Education have some great discounts, coupons, scholarships ongoing. You can connect, get your seat reserved and start your journey today. As Manpreet said, the right time to start ACCA is straight after your 10th standard, 12th standard, whatever you are. Don't wait for the right opportunity to come. Create opportunity yourself today and start with your journey. So you can text me or you can connect me on the number I'm sending again in the chat box. If somebody missed it, they can have the number and they can connect directly to me.